This meeting is being held in accordance with the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act. Annual notice this meeting is published by the Union County Local Source, the Newark Star Ledger. Said notice was posted in the municipal building and a copy is on file with the Office of the Borough Clerk. Fire exits are located in the directions I'm indicating. If you're alerted for fire, please move in a calm, orderly manner to the nearest smoke-free exit. Proper notice having been given, the Borough Clerk is directed to include the statement in the minutes of the meeting. Please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Here.
Councilman Johnson.
Here.
Councilman Signorello.
Here.
Councilman Rabina.
Present.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Here.
Councilman Patel.
Here.
Mayor Signorello.
Here.
All present, Mayor.
There are no, please lead us in the opening prayer. Pledge of Allegiance.
Eternal God, grant us thy help in all our duties and perplexities. We ask for thy guidance. Give us thy protection in our dangers and sorrows. Grant us thy peace. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There are no communications for review this evening. We do have two folks we want to recognize tonight. So first, we're going to call up, two authors tonight. Roger, do you want to come up, recognize you? This is Greg. Okay. Greg. Yeah, come on up. If you want to, go for it. It's more headaches than it's worth.
How's it going? How's it going?
Thank you. Go ahead, Greg.
Hello, everybody. First, I wanted to congratulate Roger Brenner with a certificate of recognition for the book Authoring the Secret Life of a Background Actor. This recognition is presented to Roselle Park resident Roger Brenner as a mark of accomplishment and most sincere congratulations for the authorship of his book. So I just want to say job well done on that.
Thank you.
I think this is something that's pretty cool and interesting and actually very inspiring. I got an opportunity to read a few chapters, and what can I say?
What can I say?
It was just amazing. It just, the way he wrote those few chapters, it flowed so smoothly and simplistically. One of the words that stood out is, correct me if I'm saying it wrong, arachnophobia. That's some peanut butter getting stuck, the fear of peanut butter getting stuck to your roof. So I just thought like all of your analogies and things of that nature were really clever and witty. And actually, I would like to do a book like this someday. And it just makes sense to recognize someone from the First Ward in Roselle Park. And I hope you have great success with this book.
Thank you.
No, you want to say anything?
Thanks everybody. Thank you, Mayor, Council. So this is my fourth book. I'm writing my fifth book right now. It's about political, somebody running for mayor in a small town. I really am writing this, so it'll be a novel. And
I hope you cast me in a decent light.
I can't wait. So it'll be great.
It'll be great.
Roger, you got to get this all on the microphone. You got to get it all on the mic.
Apparently the mayor wants to put a statue.
I mean, am I
We'll go right here.
Give me a little. Hold on. I don't even know if I want this picture now.
Book cover.
Is it like Joe Schmigmarello or something?
This is the report. Don't forget to advertise your book signing. Yes.
Book signing.
February?
In May.
Roger.
Third Thursday.
Okay.
Mike, you got to be in the
Good.
mic.
Sorry.
Can't hear you at home.
I'm good.
You're worse than I am at this. Go.
Book signing third Thursday in May at Roselle Park Library. Hope to see everybody there.
Everyone, please come out. Thank you.
Me. Oh, okay, got it. James? Hey. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. Cool. Thank you. Okay.
All right. Thank you, James. James, this is recognition is presented to James Company, author of Analogy of Terror, Anonymous Tales of Murder, Mystery, and Mayhem. This is recognized as a mark of compliment and most sincere congratulations for writing that book. This is a huge honor or huge accomplishment for writing the book, and hopefully we get a first seat row when this becomes a movie, including him and the council.
As long as you're not doing another one about any mayors.
I am not. Roger stole my thunder, but
It is a
I had to
murder.
come up with another idea.
I feel like this.
It's trending.
Thank you so much. Much appreciated.
I feel like to say something.
Sure. Thank you very much, Mayor, Council, Kanjan, everyone here. I appreciate that. This was a love in the making. I always had an interest in writing, and I would write on my own, and it took me a little while to get the courage to actually put my work out there for others to review. But if there's anybody who is interested in writing, it is creative, and it's just a way, it's cathartic. It really gets your emotions out there. And sometimes doing the job that I do, I definitely need an outlet, and this is mine. So they're 20 short stories. They're psychological thrillers or horror, if you will. It's been compared to episodes of The Twilight Zone, kind of irony, satire with a twist. More recently, probably that old HBO show Tales from the Crypt, which is actually based on, I think, like 1950s comic books. But I had a lot of fun writing them, and then they're quick stories, they're easy reads. It's available on Barnes & Noble, Amazon, all your major retailers online. I did do an event at the library also that Roger mentioned. I did that back in January, but I am doing one. My next one is at Dowling's on Thursday, May the 1st from 6 until 9, so I'll have some time there. I'll have copies if anybody's interested in purchasing them. I will autograph them free of charge, obviously, but it goes with the book, and I'm excited about doing it. So again, thank you, Mayor, thank you, Kanjan, for everybody, and thank you, everyone here, for giving me a couple of minutes to bring that out. So thank you very much.
The photographer for the night, thank you.
You autograph for free, don't worry.
Thank you again, everybody.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Cool. Some talented people. I did not realize we had two authors in Roselle Park. Okay, there are no meeting minutes for approval this evening. May I have a motion that bills and payrolls be not read and passed for payment?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to open the public portion on agenda items only?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If you'd like to come up and speak on agenda items, you may do so now. I am seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public portion on agenda items only?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm actually just going to we have professionals here. We do have closed session tonight, right? Just so you guys don't have to stay here the entire night. Can I get a motion to move up closed session, go out of order so we can get these guys in and out?
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll? Or can I do all in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, read the thingy.
Whereas the mayor and council of the Borough of Roselle Park wish to discuss matters which are described by the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-12, and whereas the general nature of the subjects to be discussed in closed session are matters of attorney-client privilege involving affordable housing, and whereas the time when and the circumstances under which the items discussed in closed session will be disclosed to the public at a future time, now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council of the Borough of Roselle Park in the County of Union, State of New Jersey do now adjourn the open portion of the meeting and open a closed portion of the meeting to discuss the aforementioned item. Need a motion to adopt the resolution.
May I have a motion to adopt?
Oh, so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Brittany, you just came now. We got to kick you out. We're going to close. We'll be quick, though. Keep it, turn around. We're going into closed. We'll be quick.
just I have to disclose what was discussed. Sorry. Can't even see.
Can you imagine? Goodbye.
Let's get the steps.
Do you read first or do you need the motion?
No, you
first?
need a motion to
Okay.
go back and open.
Do I have a motion to go back in ocean? Do I have a motion to go back in ocean? Do I have a motion to go back in open session?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mayor, in closed session, the governing body discussed matters of attorney-client privilege involving affordable housing. There is no action to be taken at this time.
Okay. Reports of departments. Ken, Andrew, do you guys have anything?
No.
Okay, cool. May I have a motion to accept the reports of departments as submitted?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, please read ordinance number 2810 by title along with the report and recommendations received from the Municipal Land Use Board with respect thereto.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2810 is an ordinance amending Chapter 40 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Land Use Implementing Design Standards for Signage. And the report from the Land Use Board is as follows. Please be advised, the Roselle Park Municipal Land Use Board reviewed ordinance number 2810, a development regulation ordinance. The board voted unanimously to refer the ordinance, excuse me, back to Mayor and Council without reservation for adoption.
May I have a motion to open the public portion on ordinance number 2810?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody like to come up and speak on this ordinance? Okay, seeing no one, may I have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 2810?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2810?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Yeah, just like to thank the Land Use Board for their input. Just so everybody knows, this ordinance is an attempt to, we did a facade ordinance last year, which attempts to harmonize the look and feel of the buildings downtown. This one looks to harmonize the look and feel of signage downtown. Obviously, we've spent a bunch of money in the downtown, and we have some new businesses opening up. And, this will help kind of tie it all together to the extent that we can. So excited about this one. Please call the roll, Andrew.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Ravina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is adopted.
Please read ordinance number 2817 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2817 is an ordinance for second reading and public hearing, an ordinance amending Chapter 10, Section 4, subsection 4.1 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Recreation Fees Enumerated.
Okay, may I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 2817?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody want to come up and speak on this one? Okay, seeing no one, may I have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 2817?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2817?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Yes.
I think Roe was first.
I just want to actually just say specifically that, without any confusion, the increase was not per month, it was per year. And I know, Councilman Gregg, I know your heart was to just, obviously care about the families, and I definitely agree with that. But I also spoke to Mr. Ranieri and the need. And we just all have to remember that when someone works, they have to get paid. So it's, we did put it down a little bit, but just everybody has to understand that. It's not about, pulling back and forth, but really the rec center, which is awesome, and it really does provide a great service, they go with the school schedule. So we just have to remember that. And I just wanted to clarify, the increase was not per month, it was for the year. So I just wanted to say that on record.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman?
I wanted to also say I totally agree with Ro, which why we had to make also a tough decision. No one wanted to take away the fire department or the police department getting fully exempt. I think this is a great compromise they still have a smaller incentive where they're still getting discounts, but it's also a fair balance where we're not raising the fees exorbitantly on other families. So families that make over $150,000 a year and they can't afford it, pay their fair share. That's all this is. It's not really trying to take away from anyone, and actually, it affected the tax rate. And just like Roe said, Councilwoman Roe, unfortunately, we have to pay staff, the bills, and we have a wonderful place there. And it's still one of the most affordable, right, Andrew? I think we did an assessment on that. It's still one of the most affordable in the area. I just wanted to give the veterans, police and fire a discount rather than a zero. So that taxable rate could be balanced and fair for all residents that are paying, and especially if it affects the tax rate.
Cool.
I think this is a good compromise, and the percentage was lowered a little bit better, and it's more balanced. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, everybody else, and Councilwoman Rowe for.
Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Rabina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is adopted.
Okay. Please read ordinance number 2818 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2818 is an ordinance for introduction. Ordinance amending Chapter 2, Section 10, Subsection 5 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Powers and Duties.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2818 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as May 1st, 2025?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mayor. The reason why I put this on is not to give Ken more work, but rather to going forward. I just think it makes sense that if we can get some type of written correspondence for all of mayor and council, regardless if we're sitting on the committee or not, because we are voting on $20 million plus budgets and things of that nature. And I just think a lot of towns and a lot of places, they usually get something written in writing, or like some sort of analysis. If anybody want to tweak anything, I'm open to that as well. But I just think that written correspondence prior to voting on the budget would be appreciative.
Okay. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
No.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
No.
Councilman Rabina.
No.
Councilwoman Lyons.
No.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
2 votes in the affirmative, 4 in the negative. The motion is not agreed to.
Okay. Please read ordinance number 2819 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2819 is an ordinance for introduction, a bond ordinance to authorize the making of various public improvements and the acquisition of new or replacement equipment and machinery, new information technology equipment, new communication and signal systems equipment, and new automotive vehicles, including original apparatus and equipment in, by, and for the Borough of Roselle Park and the County of Union, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $3,012,000 to pay the cost thereof, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2819 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as May 1st, 2025?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Can you just go over the project itself? I know it's a bond, but what is this?
Okay, you want to give the highlights, Andrew?
Yeah, so this is a multi-purpose bond ordinance, which just means that there are multiple things and it's not for a single purpose. Again, there's various things. Just I'm going to hit each one going down. I'm not going to give a lot of detail. If you have questions, just let me know, right? So one of them is planting of various trees. One is the purchase predominantly of various signs through the Department of Public Works. One item is the purchase of new automobiles for the police department. One is a communications board for the police department, so a variable message board sign. One is the purchase of various IT equipment. That includes various computers and new servers that are at end of life. One large one is improvements to various buildings and grounds. We typically set aside money each year for buildings and grounds to make sure that they're kept where they need to be. One item is, we try, one is basically the sidewalk program. So for various sidewalk improvements throughout the municipality that we do on an annual basis. And then there's a list of various projects that are partially grant funded. So one of those is general improvements to the youth center, which is funded in part by a grant through Union County, the Union County Recreation, Kids Recreation Grant. One is Pershing Avenue, which the borough received a DOT grant close to $400,000 for. One is Laurel Avenue, which the borough received a Union County Infrastructure and Municipal Aid grant. And the last is Warren Avenue, which is a project that we are attempting to acquire CDBG money for, Community Development Block Grant money for. Unfortunately, given some activity or lack of thereof, federal activity, we could not anticipate the receipt of those grant funds. We do typically receive upwards of $200,000 a year, and it's a very unfortunate situation because it is usually a very steady, standard program that we receive. The borough is very successful with it. We are actually one of the model municipalities for the use of those funds. And I say that just to mimic what other people say, not me just saying it. So we continue to weight that, but unfortunately we cannot anticipate the revenue there to offset the cost of the appropriation. But we are hoping for somewhere in the realm of $200,000 if the federal government provides any funding to the county.
But we're gonna plan for it and hope for the best.
Correct. And then the last of the items is improvements to the bike path, which is completely funded by a $500,000 grant the borough received last year. It just has to be put into the capital budget so that we have tracking.
For the tree planting, does the Environmental Commission have funds that we could use for this?
So we have street money set aside. What this does in part is appropriate the grant that we received last year. I didn't mention it. I started to stray away from just this mentioning the item. So we have a $5,000 grant we received last year. So this would just set aside additional monies for trees. But I will say the Environmental Commission, to answer your question, in and of itself does not have funds to plant trees.
Got it. Okay, that's it.
How does this affect our credit score?
So
I was gonna say Ken or Andrew, whatever.
So it doesn't, the bond ordinance itself doesn't impact the credit score when we go to sell bonds. So this isn't authorizing a bond sale. This is authorizing the issuance of debt. So what will happen, and it doesn't happen every year, so just so the governing bodies and everybody's on the same page, is what we will look at and what Ken will look at are ebbs and flows in the borough's debt schedule, and we will try to time the sale of bonds, where we actually go out to the market, try to time it right with the interest rate, which is very difficult right now, to make sure that the debt service of the municipality that's funded through the operating budget is level. So there's not these peaks and valleys where one year all of a sudden your debt service shoots up $1 million and the next year it's down and it looks like there's some artificial, tax increase or tax reduction. You want it to be as steady as possible or trending downward, right? And, we've had a pretty good trajectory over the last few years of trending downward. Unfortunately with this, there's a little blip on the radar with this particular situation because of the CDBG grant. That's $200,000 that otherwise we wouldn't be necessarily authorizing out of this ordinance. But what happens to get to your question, what happens prior to the actual sale of bonds is the credit rating agencies, Moody's, S&P, will issue you a rating. And they'll have an interview with usually myself. It's usually a management interview. It'll be myself, Ken, the auditor, sometimes our financial advisor, sometimes the attorneys, to get a feel for what's the town doing, what's it like, what does your surplus look like, what does your debt ratio look like, what is the financial health of municipality, and that ultimately rolls into what your credit rating is. The other thing that factors into it, particularly for Roselle Park, is, and the public's probably heard this before, the governing body may have heard this before, we're at the highest credit rating we can achieve. So to say that we have a AAA credit rating is not technically correct.
No.
We have what would be AAA for the size of Roselle Park, which is AA3, right? AA3 is what our rating is. We've been told we could get to AA2. I don't know how we would do that. I don't know if it's based on the growth of the town or if we reduce the debt by some massive amount. There's no like, hey, you missed this box.
No.
No, I'm just trying to oversimplify it so everybody can understand. If it was something as, we'll check this box and we'll get a better credit rating, we would do it. But it's not exactly like that.
Not that simple.
So I think, in my professional opinion, I think that this shows continued investment. I think that, in terms of our operating budget, which they would look at, I think that's a good indicator because we continue to regenerate surplus and we continue to share the use of surplus. And overall, over the past several years, we've been on a downward trajectory of debt. So I think overall, this is good. Again, the thing that's a little upsetting to me personally is the loss of those grant funds that we would normally get. But hopefully we do get them later in the year at some point, and we can make those adjustments when that money comes in. And I would look forward to sharing that, I hope, at some point.
Could we have put that parking on this too, as a bond?
The park?
Yeah, the parking
The
from
Wells Fargo
the
lot.
Wells Fargo lot.
Isn't it? It's listed in this ordinance, isn't it?
Is it listed?
No, it's not. It's not
Because
listed.
I didn't see it.
It's not. No, it's not listed in the capital ordinance because it's run through the municipal budget. It's
Okay.
not. It's not put in the bond ordinance because
We're not issuing debt for
Got you.
you're not issuing debt. You're not going to the capital improvement fund. It's being used from sale of asset, which is run through the municipal budget, not a bond ordinance.
I appreciate it.
Any
Sorry,
further-
I know I was long-winded, but that's everything.
Any further discussion?
do it.
Please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorella.
Yes.
Councilman Rabina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
All matters listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the governing body so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda as part of general orders. Please read all resolutions by title.
Yes, Mayor. Resolution 11125 is granting permission for the public display of fireworks by Celebration Fireworks, Inc. in connection with the Borough of Roselle Park's 2025 Independence Day celebration in conformity with Section 5601-243 of the Fire Code of the State of New Jersey. Resolution 11225 is designating Block 504, Lot 6 of the municipal tax map, commonly known as 510 Chestnut Street, along with all streets appurtenant thereto, as an area in need of rehabilitation in accordance with the local redevelopment and housing law, NJSA 40A:12A-1 et sec. Resolution 11325 is authorizing special need waiver number 1 for Roselle Park Housing Rehabilitation Program, case number RP-55, Block 1102, Lot 9, commonly known as 227 Sherman Avenue, in the amount of $2,077.50. Resolution 11425 is awarding a contract to NJMF Investments LLC for the project Roselle Park Housing Rehabilitation Program, case number RP-55-B, in an amount not to exceed $3,865. Resolution 11525 is amending the 2025 capital budget. Resolution 11625 is authorizing the treasurer to issue one check totaling $25,383.56 payable to one lien holder on one property, and one check totaling $25,000 from the tax collector's premium account. Resolution 11725 is accepting the resignation of Kazim Smith from the position of Class 1 laborer. Resolution 11825 is authorizing the extension of a lease renewal agreement for the Roselle Park Museum. Resolution 11925 is awarding a contract to Smith Sondy Asphalt Construction Company for the Project 2025 Capital Road Program in an amount not to exceed $296,305.73. Resolution 12025 is authorizing the submission of Form 1B, a strategic plan for the Borough of Roselle Park Municipal Alliance grant for fiscal year 2026. Resolution 12125 is authorizing and directing the Chief Administrative Officer to institute a layoff action, including 2 employees within the Bureau of Fire Prevention. Resolution 12225 is accepting the retirement of Richard Beluccio as construction official, building subcode official, and zoning officer. Resolution 12325 is appointing Richard Beluccio to the positions of construction official and building subcode official. And Resolution 12425 is designating Block 504, Lot 6 of the municipal tax map, commonly known as 510 Chestnut Street, along with all streets pertinent thereto, as a non-condemnation area in need of redevelopment in accordance with local redevelopment and housing law, NJSA 40A:12A-1 et sec.
Do any members wish to have any items removed from the consent agenda?
Sorry, 112, 115.
Yep.
And 124.
124.
124.
And 118?
Okay. May I have a motion to approve the resolutions remaining on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt Resolution 112-25?
So moved.
Second?
Is there any discussion?
Yeah, has the Board of Ed made any decision with this, the property itself?
I don't believe so, no.
And, okay, so I don't think are we spending money on the whole planning and everything like that?
Yep.
And if if the Board of Ed doesn't agree with it, what happens with it?
Well, it depends. So if we get far enough where a developer gets involved, then the developer would share the cost of it. If it gets squashed totally, then the Board of Ed, well, I guess, we can use that, and it sits on the borough's books for a later date, right? If somebody decides to do that, or there's a new board that changes their mind, but that basically sits there and can be used at any time.
Okay.
Okay. Please call the roll.
Mayor, I just want to note for the record
Sure.
that the Municipal Land Use Board met on Monday and held a public hearing on April 14th, 2025, and recommends the following to the governing body: to designate the study area, the subject property, as a non-condemnation area in need of redevelopment, as well as an area in need of rehabilitation. In respect to the area in need of rehabilitation, the board recommends that the mayor and council make no substantive changes to the verbiage proposed in the resolution for the area in need of rehabilitation designation. Just wanted to make sure that was noted for the record.
Can I ask, can you just make it clear of what's actually happening? Because it's a study.
Yeah, let me,
So just,
Want Fran to do it?
what's up?
Fran's here.
Yeah, oh, your friend's here. Why would I work at friend's here? Go ahead.
Good evening. Fran McManaman, McManaman, Scotland and Ballman. We serve as redevelopment counsel to the borough. Good evening, everyone. So to answer your question, what's happening tonight is the borough was considering a resolution designating block 504, lot 6 as an area in need of rehabilitation. And then later in the agenda, it will also be consideration for a resolution designating it as an area in need of redevelopment. These are both designations under the redevelopment law, and there are different criteria for rehabilitation and redevelopment. That's why there are two separate resolutions. I think you guys are pretty familiar with the redevelopment process. This is very early on in the stage of the whole redevelopment process. So right now, there's a study. The planner has completed the study. It was presented to the land use board. They've made their recommendations. Council would act on these resolutions this evening. If they're both adopted, the next step would be to prepare a redevelopment plan for the property. Again, that would come back to council. It would go back to the land use board, and that's adopted by ordinance.
okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
So there is nobody voting on any parameters of a project there. But just to go back to Conjohn's point, which I think is worthy context, right? So if the Board of Ed theoretically was to engage in a land swap, right, I think part of the puzzle is the opposite party would need to know what they could do there, right? Because that's the way the economics would work out. It's a little bit of a quirky scenario. I'm sure you don't see a lot of this, Fran, but it would be a piece of the puzzle for a potential land swap. Anybody else? Please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
No.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Urbina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
No.
Councilman Patel.
No.
Mayor Signorello.
Yes.
4 in the affirmative, 3 in the negative. The resolution is adopted.
Oh, haven't had to do that in a while.
Come back.
Stretch out the muscles, man. Feels good. May I have a motion to adopt Resolution 118-25?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mayor, I had a quick question.
Yep.
There was discussion that the museum would be moving into the new building, Fernmore. If that occurs prior to the lease extension or lease expiration,
So this is 118?
you said 118.
Yeah.
Okay.
They skipped 115.
Oh, okay, all right.
Oh, did I skip 115?
Yeah, no,
My bad.
that's
I'll come
fine,
back
that's
to it.
fine. We'll do 118.
Yeah, my
I'm
bad.
sorry, I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure I
Sorry,
had it
that's
right.
So,
So sorry, you want to answer?
yeah, that
I mean,
was,
we're voting on 118 now, right?
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
So what was the question?
the question is, if they happen to move to Fernmore before the end of the lease in 2026, is that happening? Or,
Totally depends on, so what will happen here, what the governing body's doing here is authorizing the lease renewal of the museum on Grant Avenue. That would extend to the end of next April. The current lease expires at the end of this month. That will give a transition period, we hope, within the next year, to move the museum to the My Place project. Once that happens, we will start to pay rent there, which is substantially less than the Grant Avenue location. Our understanding is that there is a tenant that wants to occupy the space on Grant Avenue.
Okay.
The borough's lease with that particular property owner is that if we break the lease, there's no penalty per se,
Okay.
other than that we pay until the end of the lease or until a new tenant is occupying that space. I don't want to speak for her, but I believe it's the salon next door wants to occupy that space and has expressed interest to the owner of the building, which is a great thing. She just recently expanded. It would be great to see her expand there. Don't know if that's the case, but that's what I've heard and that's what I understand. So the risk is minimal.
All right, thanks for the clarification. That was it.
Thank you.
Further discussion? Please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Rabina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The resolution is adopted.
May I have a motion to adopt Resolution 115-25?
So moved.
Second?
Is there any discussion?
Yeah, as far as the amendments, are they the same thing with the bonds? With
Yes.
The projects? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so this is directly, I'm sorry, Mayor, if I
Go
could.
for it, yeah.
So this is just a mechanical process. We need to make sure that the capital budget itself is reflective of what we would be putting in the bond ordinance. So this just, it mirrors that. It's the
Got it.
exact same
Okay.
things that I
Thank you.
listed. Yep.
Please call the roll. Oh, sorry, is there any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Rabina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The resolution is adopted.
May I have a motion to adopt Resolution 124-25?
So moved.
Second?
Is there any discussion? This one is, so we passed one for an area in need of rehab. This is an area in need of redevelopment, and we're doing that just as a sort of fail-safe measure in case it should not qualify for one or the other. Is that fair? Or sorry, they both qualify. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
determination by the land use board is they do both qualify.
Yep.
And the determination is the testimony of the planner.
Fran, just turn your mic on.
Oh.
Is that they do both qualify. Doing both of these as a resolution and rehab, are there different criteria? And this parcel happens to meet both criteria, so in this circumstance, it seemed fit.
Got it. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
No.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Rabina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
No.
Councilman Patel.
No.
Mayor Signorello.
Yes.
4 in the affirmative, 3 in the negative. Resolution is adopted.
Oh, man, I don't think I've had to do that in like 2 years. Feels good. Stretch out the muscles. Okay, reports of Borough Council / committees. Sig Jr.
You're right.
I'm going to say short and sweet. Enjoyed our Meet the Borough. We only had a couple residents, but I think a couple of the residents came. It was worthwhile talking to and educating them about a lot of stuff, where you can get a haircut, where you can get a pizza, landscaper. Some of the residents moved in town. It was enjoyable afternoon. I tried to do both and go to the baseball kickoff, and I know Councilman Petrosky was there and representing, because we had most of my co-workers, co-council here were meeting the greet at the borough. So it was an enjoyable day meeting them. The weather was so-so. And I'd just like to wish everybody a pleasant weekend, a happy Easter, and the weather's supposed to be pretty good. Enjoy. That's all I have.
Okay. Councilman Johnson?
Good evening, Mayor, Council, residents. First thing that I would like to discuss as a recap from the budget we voted upon last mayor and council meeting that was held on April 3rd. Just for clarity purposes, I myself am all right with the $50.60, I think, right? 50.6 household budget. I think is great. In fact, I wasn't against that amount. That's not why I voted against it. I was actually against a closed session item becoming a line item, which is showing like we're lacking in transparency. And I just wanted the governing body, myself, to do a better job with being more transparent and getting the community involved. The second thing that was that I'm not against more parking. In fact, the American Legion's Association is right across the street from that parking lot, and they could probably benefit from it as well. I just was against the $900K sale of municipal asset with the cell tower leasing renewal and how it was being utilized. I actually wanted to bond it or do a shared service agreement. So I didn't get a chance to recap that, and I just wanted to make that clear for clarity purposes. On April 21st, we are having a public safety meeting. We will be discussing traffic concerns, parking, speed bumps, turns tables, along with a few other annual concerns like Halloween and things of that nature. So I just wanted to advise the community we'll be doing that on April 21st. On May 17th, 2025, I am pleased to announce that Roselle Park will be having their first Multicultural and Heritage Festival. There will be live bands, displays, historic information, food trucks, and more. I just want to say thank you to the sponsors that are helping to make this possible, like Sunrise Diner, Costa's, American Legion Post 60, Roselle Park itself, Union County, GJCA, and Pure Natural Vibes. So please, residents, come out. This will be truly a great event for everyone to enjoy, and I look forward to seeing you guys there. Lastly, there is still an improper ordinance, in my view, that's on the books. I know Andrew reached out to me today, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. Hopefully the local review and the attorney and we could find a better place. This isn't my law. It's NJS 40A is a state statute, legislative sponsors, NJSA 40A9, local governing ethics laws, NJS 104A, Open Public Records Act. There's even a couple of small minor case laws where this is, to me, seems like it's a violation and it's not, let's not vote against it because someone put it on the agenda. It's more so doing what's right for Roselle Park and the right nature of parliamentary procedures. So I just hope that we could, the attorney could be able to do a good job and being neutral and effective in finding out how can we resolve this concern. Lastly, I attended the Diversity and Inclusion meeting, which was April 16th, and that was productive. And anyone else, if you need to get in contact with me, just please reach out to me either by email or by phone number. That would be gjohnson@rosellepark.net or 908-303-1519. And together we can make Roselle Park better. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Petrosky?
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, April 5th. Okay, April 5th, I attended the Roselle Park Youth Baseball Softball League Parade, and I was very happy to see they honored Mike Swears, who's a 1971 graduate of Roselle Park High School, was involved with the league many years, and in 2018, the girls softball team won the Group 1 championship, and Mike coached a lot of them girls through the years, and it was a great sight. A lot of them girls showed up on April 5th to honor Mike for things. So, like I said, I was glad they finally honored him. He was involved in the league many years. I remember way back when he was in charge of the fields, and they were considered called the diamond cutters, but. I was glad, I was glad they honored Mike, okay? Then I attended to meet the borough. I did get there late because the parade was a little longer than expected, but I did show up, okay? On the 8th, I attended the Recreation Committee meeting. We got ready for the Easter egg hunt and everything. On the 9th, I attended the Historical Society fundraiser, at Dowland's. I appreciate what Dowland did for the Historical Society. It was open from 11 in the morning to the following morning at 2, and the Historical Society got 10% of the cut. So I was happy, and from what I was told, it was a good turnout that day. So today I attended the joint sewer meeting, and the main topic was they had to order a new elevator. It was installed in 1970, and it had its last legs. So they did order a new one. So on Saturday, April 19th, the Recreation Department is going to have an Easter egg hunt. It'll be at 10 a.m. at the high school baseball field, Field D, which is on Colfax Avenue. And there will be pictures with the Easter money. American Legion, again, if you can help them out, please help them out. We're in the process of redoing the bathrooms down at the bar. So they're going to do both bathrooms. Of course, they're going to do one at a time. This way, you still have access to at least one bathroom. I want to wish everyone that celebrate Passover. I know I believe it's over, right? No, it's still on? Oh, it's okay. I want to wish everyone a happy Passover. And on Sunday is Easter. I hope wish everyone a happy Easter. If you need to contact me, you can get me at jpetrosky@rosepark.net. 908-666-7821. That's my report, Mayor. Thank you. And as you can see, no condolences.
Oh, that's good. This is a good month.
First time in 11 years.
Oh, that's good. Huh.
Yeah.
It's good news.
So,
Councilwoman, thank you, Councilman. Let's clap for nobody dying. Okay, Councilman.
Hold on. Sorry. Good evening, Mayor and Council and residents of Roselle Park. I just want to definitely wish everyone a happy Passover, happy Easter, happy Eid, and definitely peace to whoever is celebrating. So I attended Meet the Borough a couple weeks ago. It's been already 2 weeks. It was great to see some new faces, and I definitely look forward to meeting new residents within the 3rd Ward. I will definitely be contacting you if you are watching, and definitely come out and meet you. We had a library board meeting last night, and they have a lot of activities happening. So definitely check them out on the Facebook page and on their website. I did post something in the Roselle Park forum, or definitely just give them a call. They have so many great just activities for children and adults, and it is really a great hub. That's what we're calling it, definitely in Roselle Park, and it's just great for information. If you need help with applications or computer, they have such great facility and people that work there. So I also just wanted to remind everyone, I am hosting a women's celebration on May 30th, Friday, May 30th. We're having a dinner and a show, so definitely come out. I am going to be posting. I definitely need reservations to hold your seat. I already have a list going, so if you are interested, please reach out to me. And I always say, leave your politics and ego at the door. Just come and have fun. Also, we are celebrating Arbor Day. I don't want to steal Councilman Jay's thunder, but he's going to talk to you about the bike clinic that's coming up, but I definitely wanted to give you a shout out for that. And Memorial Day is coming. So definitely go to the Roselle Park app. It does have the dates and everything of the events coming up. And my final thought is, just like all these things that are happening, it's a very poignant time of the year, and just reflection and renewal are just 2 words that were on my heart today. Sometimes we make mistakes, and sometimes we can look back and say, you know what, I can do better. And all of us can feel that, and also have a time for renewal. And always, coming together is really the point. And I just wanted to say, I'd rather work together than be divided. So
I'll leave that at that. My number is 908-726-8773, and rlyons@rosellepark.net. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Patel.
Thank you. So the road work at West Clay, Hawthorne, and Rosewood is half completed. The vendor will return soon to stripe the 25-mile-an-hour signs on West Clay. Earlier this week, I dropped off a newsletter to inform residents about what's happening around the town. A big thank you to Deep, Karen, Joe, and Carlier to help me distribute them. I encourage residents to sign up for the electronic copy visiting my link tree at linktr.ee/Councilman Patel, or send me an email at kpatel@rosellepark.net. Community garden signups are open until April 26th. The environmental commissions and a group of volunteers are working hard to prepare for the mid-May opening, including the installation of 30 new garden beds. If you're interested in volunteering, please contact the commission at environmentalcommission@rosellepark.net. Thank you everyone who attended the new resident event. For the residents who were not able to make it, I will drop off the bags to you. If you have any questions or concerns, please email me at kpatel@rosellepark.net. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Urbina.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening. Good evening, Roselle Park. Here's a brief recap of events I've attended since our last meeting. April 6th, Meet the Borough event. Attended the Meet the Borough event, which had a modest turnout of about 10 residents. While attendance was small, these gatherings remain vital opportunities for open dialogue and building community connections. April 8th, Union County Accessible Events Planning Workshop. I participated in a workshop hosted by Union County on planning inclusive and ADA-compliant cultural events. Topics included respectful communication, accessibility across different disabilities, and implementing equitable policies and procedures. On the 9th, I attended the East Coast Greenway public meeting. This meeting held at the Cranford Rec Center focused on expanding the East Coast Greenway through Cranford, Roselle, and Elizabeth. The goal is to create local bike lanes and bike routes linking the Elizabeth River Trail to the larger East Coast Greenway network in nearby Cranford via Warren Echo Park. County professionals and Pannoni Associates presented possible routes, safety improvements, signage, and striping plans. April 10th, Easy Ride Street Smart New Jersey session. In partnership with Easy Ride, I hosted a traffic safety and walkability session at the Cassano Center. Residents shared concerns about pedestrian safety hotspots across the borough, particularly in the 3rd Ward. I'd like to thank everyone who attended and to Councilman at Large Signorello for your valuable input and support. Following day, April 11th, New Jersey Trails Action Network. I joined the statewide conversation on pedestrian bicycle infrastructure. The session emphasized the need for equitable design and securing long-term funding to support both mobility and recreation goals under the new federal administration. April 13th was the community cleanup on Saturday. A heartfelt thank you to Deb and Adolfo de Cosmo and their family for organizing this year's community cleanup. Thanks also to all the volunteers who came out. Your energy and commitment to help keep Roselle Park beautiful is appreciated. Following day, April 14th, Monday night, Municipal Land Use Board meeting. The board reviewed and had sent back Ordinance 2810, which introduces updated design standards for signage without recommendation or further comment. We also discussed a redevelopment study for 510 Chestnut Street, the Board of Ed building in the ROB district. The planner's report was shared, and while there was no public opposition, nor were there members of the public present, we still welcomed open comment. Next Municipal Land Use Board meeting is scheduled for Monday, May 12th at 7 p.m. I'd like to say thanks to Superintendent Budesheim for freshening up Aldine and Sensory Park with mulch, and Boy Scout Park is coming along nicely and will be done in the coming weeks. As for upcoming events, Friday, April 25th at 9:15 we'll be in the 5th Ward at the high school for the Arbor Day tree planting, so if you're in the area, stop by. April 26th is Celebrate Trails Day. Join Union County Connects for a litter cleanup and trail walk along what will be the Rawway Valley Rail Trail starting in the 5th Ward. We're going to meet at Frenchie's at 11 a.m. Saturday, May 3rd is the 4th annual Bike Clinic and Tour to Roselle Park. Bike Clinic begins at 11 a.m. Tour to Roselle Park departs at 11:30 a.m. It'll be hosted by Bob and Donna Masucci of Bob's Bicycle Service, with certified cycling instructor Paul Mikowitz providing safety tips for young riders. Rain date is Sunday, May 4th. Visit the borough website or my Facebook page for full details and for RSVP information. And wishing all a very safe and very happy Easter. I can be reached at jrobina@rosellepark.net, 862-236-0019. Mayor, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman. Okay, my report. Yeah, so this is my 7th year as mayor, and I've tried to, unless it really touches here, veer away from national politics. Unfortunately, it's been a common theme with my reports, and honestly will continue to be so until some of the chaos ends, which may never end. But I think it's really important for anybody who's listening to this and every other mayor out there to start speaking about these things, because we are in a time and a phase where we were taught in school the warning signs of a situation in a country that we didn't want to live in, and the warning signs of autocracy, and we see all of those things today. On March 15th, Kilmer Abrego Garcia, a legal resident of the United States, married to an American citizen with a child here, was illegally shipped off to El Salvador to a private prison. There was no due process, and as far as Homeland Security goes, there was no criminal history. Even if there was criminal history, we have a constitutional right to due process and your time in court before you're shipped off to a gulag in South America. And that's what we do here. We abide by the Constitution. When we pledge allegiance to the flag, we do not pledge allegiance to a president, we do not pledge allegiance to a judge, we don't do it to a mayor, we do it to the flag, we do it to the Constitution, and this is ingrained in the Constitution. We know in Roselle Park, if I was to make an example, we've dealt with constitutional issues here. And the mayor and council, when courts have told us that we need to act otherwise, we've acted accordingly, because that is what the rule of law does. That is what checks and balances are. What's more egregious than any of these disgusting things, which are impeachable offenses, is it flies in the face of a Supreme Court order. I remind everybody that the Supreme Court is currently made up with a 6-3 conservative majority, many of those people appointed by Trump himself, and they have found every way to talk around what is essentially a constitutional crisis in one of the checks and balances being totally ignored, and the executive branch not listening to the judicial branch. Just today, for anybody who thinks that this is like something in Maryland that couldn't happen and doesn't happen to us, we have an American citizen detained by ICE. I'm not here to debate illegal immigration versus legal immigration. I'm not here to debate whether or not we should change those policies. I'm not here to debate abortion. I'm not here to debate the legalization of marijuana. I'm here to discuss the rule of law in the United States of America, and something we are all beholden to. And that is just being trampled on. And the reason why I want to continue talking about this is because I just won't be intimidated. We have people within the administration, specifically Sebastian Gorka, who ironically isn't even American, was born in Hungary and is a British citizen, immigrated here, basically saying that anybody who supports somebody like this is aiding and abetting, right? And we've already had threats from the Trump administration saying that complicit in whatever they see fit activities from local officials that they see, contrary to federal dictate, can be arrested and can be tried too. So I'm not going to speak out of fear. I'm not going to live in fear. I don't think this is something that a 14,000 person town mayor should be talking about, but if I don't know who will. And I'll leave it on this for anybody who thinks this is a partisan issue. Once again, the Trump administration has been compelled to try and facilitate the return back of this gentleman who did not see his day in court. And I want to talk a little bit about the most recent judge who has tried to compel that, which is Judge Wilkinson, who actually was an appointee of Ronald Reagan, a Republican, and was on the short list for one of his Supreme Court nominees. So this is not some partisan hack talking about. But what we're seeing now, and I'm going to use his words here, as we've noted, it is all too possible to see, in this case, an incipient crisis, but may present an opportunity as well. We yet cling to the hope that it is not naive to believe that our good brethren in the executive branch perceive the rule of law as vital to the American ethos. This case presents their unique chance to vindicate that value and to summon the best within us while there is still time. And some, for the reasons foregoing, we deny the motion stay pending appeal, and the writ of mandamus in this case is so ordered. And that's really important. We're all fallible. We all make mistakes. We don't double down on them. This isn't some partisan hackery. We face this in Roselle Park on a much lower stakes. The Democratic Party, and I should know this very well, when one of ours, Bob Menendez, was under federal investigation, we didn't, just say we need to blindly accept this and blindly protect this person. We corrected within our own. And I think that's something that we need to do as as a nation. And I think there's a lot of us that need to do some soul searching because everybody thinks it can't happen to them until it happens to them. And that'll conclude my report. If you have any questions for me, my email is mayorsig@rosellepark.net. And I thank you for your time. May I have a motion to open the public portion on any subject?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
If you'd like to come up and speak, you may do so now.
Turn on. Yeah, just, there's a button on the bottom, Mike. Just make sure the light's on.
Michael Ryan, 515 Locust Street. Tonight, I want to talk about the park that borders the Parker's redevelopment project. It's a real park. It's for the citizens, residents of Roselle Park. It has attributes that they are.
You're talking about the proposed park in this plan?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Yes, proposed park. Dreamed of park. It has, it's going to contain a dog park. It has seating at both ends of the, near the train station, seating areas next to Locust Street. And it, a wish of mine, and it is planned for, there's some spaces along the park for food trucks. I envision on weekends that the residents of Roselle Park would be able to gather in that area, enjoy the fare of different types of food, different cultural food. I think that would be a wonderful weekend activity that would take place, at the right seasonal time. This park is not just a place for leisure and recreation, but it also serves a purpose. The purpose, it is going to allow the continuation of the trail that goes between Chestnut Street and Lincoln and Galloping Hill Road. It leaves a pathway over to Locust Street. My long-term vision for that is that it would connect with the Rahway Valley Railroad that intersects the Conrail line behind Webster Gardens. So if this park existed and the trail in it, there would be this possibility to connect to have and what I envision is a nature trail similar to the High Line in New York City that would go from the intersection of Locust and Webster behind the Hunter Project, behind the baseball fields, and wrap around onto the Rahway Valley Railroad that would then take you over to the athletic field. So there would be this path all the way from Galloping Hill Road over to the athletic field. So that's a park, public courtyards that are open to that are open to everyone, terraces that are align the street in front of the building, and subterranean parking. These are four major contributions that I would be making to Roselle Park, to the residents of Roselle Park, and to the future of Roselle Park. When we talk about this project, I can't emphasize enough that we're talking about something that is going to be here for 200 years. This is going to be like the prominent spot in Roselle Park when it's finished. With that in mind, and I'd like to reiterate all that I am wish to give to the community, and I urge you to appoint me as developer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. Thank you very much.
Anybody else want to come up and speak? Yep.
Hello, Constance Montella, 432 Walnut. Obviously, I just have a question about redevelopment for
Sure.
510 Chestnut. I know this has been going on for a couple meetings now. Were there talks at all, I know you had said previously there were, with the superintendent of our district that's selling that building? Just checking, because
So directly
to her.
with this superintendent, I don't really remember if Goyce I've talked to.
Okay.
Pedro, definitely.
Okay, right, he's not here anymore.
No, I understand, but I believe I'm coming to your meeting next week,
Okay.
so we can talk about it then. She'll be
Okay,
there,
yeah,
right?
I just, because usually like government, Board of Ed completely separate, so superintendent's sort of in charge of
I
the
agree,
district.
yet you're here every meeting.
I am,
Interesting.
unfortunately.
Got it.
But yeah, I guess be stressed to hear if the superintendent of the school didn't agree with selling the building or think that was good for the district.
Okay, that's good. There's a board for a reason.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Yep. Anybody else? I'm seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public session on a subject?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find a caregiver.